Hey friend, thank you for being here. Big high fives for showing up for yourself, and thank you for choosing the time to show up with me. My name is Lori Bulloch. I am the owner and creator of Let's Breathe Yoga, as also a certified yoga instructor. I am so happy to be here and want to do a big shout out to my mom, who has taught me to listen to my body since I was young, to all my mentors and instructors and people who have written books that I have enjoyed and learned from to get me to this point that I can share this series with you. Also, a shout out to my yoga student who invited me to create it. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes is a simple way for us to work our way through our body. We'll also be learning breath exercises, a little bit about chakras, and increasing joint strength and flexibility so that we can balance in our lives and on our mats. So if you have a pillow, bring that in for today's practice and let's get started. So starting in this comfortable seated position, let's sit tall, tall, tall. It's tall spine, top of the head in the clouds, shoulders soft and back. And just imagine if your head really were in the clouds. What would that feel like? Maybe you've flown through clouds before and just that floaty, puffy feeling around what you feel like it might imagine to have your head in the clouds, sitting that tall, that steady. And let's just start with a simple breath. So in and out through the nose or mouth to begin with, whatever feels most clear to you today. So just finding an inhale, nose or mouth, that fills you up, and then an exhale, nose or mouth, that allows the body to rest. Take that a few more times. Noticing your belly moving, noticing maybe the upper ribs or lower ribs moving. Just get curious about your body, your breath. And then tap into your heart space by placing one hand over the other, or side by side, thumbs on the heart. Feeling the heartbeat, keeping the breath moving. Even this is yoga, where we have this body awareness, this mind awareness, and even spiritual awareness. So the crown chakra, keep breathing, keep enjoying this soft, quiet moment while I explain. The crown chakra is right here at the top of the head, where you would connect with a golden thread if it was being raised up into the heavens. And that is a spiritual center, or where we connect to higher wisdom. In yoga, they have you imagine 1,000-petaled lotus. So if you want to keep your imagination going, 1,000-petal lotus blooming on the top of your head. And that is your crown chakra. Let's take a little gentle neck movement, chin to chest, exhale, and chin to sky, inhale. Chin neutral, rolling the nose to one shoulder, and then rolling through center toward the other shoulder. Come back to center and let's just tip one ear toward one shoulder. And come up and over and other ear toward other shoulder. Good. Reaching forward, stretching out long, release the low back. Maybe even find a sway, hands on the earth to ground you, and then just stretching the low back side to side. Neck is neutral, easy, gentle, just warming up. And then come on back to center, arms open out to the side, and maybe land the back of your hands, the back of your fingers on the earth. So first, actually, let's shrug the shoulders up, over, down, and back a few times. Up, over, down, and back, opening the front of the heart space. And then once you have them down and back, almost pinching a pencil behind you, let the top of the fingers rest on the earth. So my palms are up, my heart is open, I'm sitting tall still. And I want to talk about right here, the third eye chakra, right in the center of the eyebrows and a little bit above. That's a seat of intuition, of concentration, and even visualization. So as you were visualizing head in the clouds or lotus on your head, you were engaging that third eye. So let's again, from here, anywhere your hands want to be, tip your chin down, warming up the neck, chin up. Come through center, neutral spine, nose toward one shoulder, and nose across the horizon toward the other shoulder. Just noticing any tension that you might find, tipping one ear toward one shoulder, really staying there for 3 breaths this time, noticing this side of the neck, keeping everything open, so heart space open, side of the neck open as if sunshine were coming in, softening that neck muscle. When you're finished with your 3 breaths, come up and over and find the same thing on this side. So again, hands are wherever it feels like you're getting that best stretch through this side of the neck. Letting the breath flow, maybe releasing tension through the exhale. Come up through center, let's slide out again, hands wider this time. Hands really, really wide, so that you're feeling maybe something different. If your hands are pressed into the earth with fingers wide, that's similar to a feeling we might get in down dog. So activating shoulders, fingers, hands. Good. Come up through center and let's roll down onto our back body just for a few moments. So if you had a pillow there, you can move it, and just rolling down all the way down. Resting on the back body and bringing both knees into the chest. Let the back body really feel the support of the earth here and rock side to side. Beautiful. Feet set on the earth, and let's take hands overhead. A big reach, reach, reach overhead. And then hands up to the sky. Palms facing each other. Hands shoulder width apart. And press each shoulder into the earth like you're walking with your shoulder blades, one at a time, pressing in, lifting up, pressing in, lifting up. Good. And then bring hands back overhead and rest them. We're bringing one foot to the sky, activating the back of the legs with a point and a flex. Just warming up all of our joints here. Neck is warmed up a little bit. We're going to warm up everything else so that we can move into a good, beautiful yoga practice. Set that foot down and take the other one up to the sky, flexing, pointing. Arms are still relaxed overhead, resting on the earth. Shoulders opening and softening maybe. Good. And let's set that foot down. Bring the first foot. I'm bringing my right knee in and stretching my left leg out long and resting it on the earth or hovering it above the earth, whatever feels best to your body. Pointing and flexing both feet. Good. So active, a balance of ease and effort in your body. So notice which parts of your body are easeful and which parts are creating a little effort here. Switch sides, other knee comes in, other leg goes out long. So my left knee is in, my right leg is long. I'm either touching my right heel to the earth or hovering. Just enjoy this simple movement for the ankles. Awesome. Bringing both knees in, hold hands on each knee, and let's take circles. So I'm taking my knees wide, letting them float away from me and bringing them in together and close to me. Out wide, all the way around, in together and back close. Notice if it feels better for your toes to stay touching here, or try one with your feet kind of flopping out to the side lazily and mostly making it about hips and knees. Which one feels better to you? After you bring the knees in, the next time take it reverse. So knees stay together, go out away, and then float out and back in. Again, decide about toes touching or feet relaxed. Warming up the hips. Good. Awesome. Set the feet down. Let's take a bridge pose by placing hands next to each side, close to the hips, palms down. Feet are close to the hips as well. So not an uncomfortable amount of bend in the knees, but a pretty close heel to hip connection. When you're ready, press each part of the foot into the earth. In fact, let's practice how that feels by lifting the toes up first, and then pressing the toes into the earth strongly, feet active, and then lift the heels off the earth, toes stay, and then press the heels in. Beautiful. 2 more of those each. So just toes to the sky, toes to the earth, heels up, heels down. Last time. You could match that with your breath just for fun, just for yoga. Good. When your feet are all the way pressed in really strong, lift the hips slowly, slowly, slowly. You decide how much lift you want and just enjoy that stretch. Where do you feel it? Do you feel your thighs activating and glutes activating? Do you feel your core engaging? What's holding you here? See if you can melt your shoulders into the earth and simply have this be all about the hips, the core, and the thighs. So shoulders stay open, jaw stays relaxed. 1 more breath here. And lower the hips down. Good. Bring the knees in just to rest the low back, rock side to side. And then let's meet on our side bodies. So rest your head anywhere that feels good on your arm. Pull back your pillow, pull your pillow back in. Just resting here, knees and ankles together and arm up to the sky. So once you get comfortable here, activate the hand and let's take a big, strong, active hand overhead, bicep close to ear, and then slow and controlled rainbow up and over. Notice your shoulder, how everything's working together for you. The rest of the body is resting, or you can activate your whole body by pressing everything that's touching the earth into the earth, as if you had to hold on, there was no gravity. Otherwise, just rest your body and activate shoulder. Good. This time, take hand above your head. Well, sorry, right in front of you, straight ahead. And then open, open, open. We're gonna find a gentle twist here. Hand floats back and spine releases to let the hand go as close to the earth as possible. Big breath in. And as you exhale, activate core and bring everything back. So we're floating hand forward on an exhale, and then inhale, open it back. Feel that inhale, expand the ribs, and exhale, engage the core. Last one. Beautiful. Everyone doing so great, being patient with your body. And then as you float forward this time, let's roll onto the belly and find a little scoop for the low back. So I'm taking my elbows wide, tops of the feet resting on the earth, thighs and hips pressing into the earth. And this is just a tiny back bend here. I'm going to look a little to the left, chin toward shoulder, and a little to the right, chin toward shoulder. Coming back through neutral, let's tuck the toes under and lift the knees up to increase the back bend. So my toes are touching, my knees are not. Activating the back of my legs, and if that feels good for the low back, stay there a breath or 2. Otherwise, come back down. Good. Let's take a child's pose by pressing hands next to chest and coming up, over, and back. Heels can be under the hips. Hands can be floating forward, active or gentle. Knees can be together or apart. Find your child's pose, a really juicy stretch, and a nice place to rest. 3 breaths. Touching the forehead to the mat or stacking the hands. I just want the third eye space right between the eyebrows and a little bit above to be touching the earth. Good. After that third breath, let's take a cat-cow, and then we'll do the same series on the other side. So coming through, knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Roll the back to the sky, chin tucks into the chest, and then slowly lower the belly toward the earth and chin lifts up. Take that 2 more times each. So let's find an exhale here, like an angry cat. And an inhale here, like a cow getting ready to moo. That's our cat-cow pose. Last one. Good. Find a neutral spine, so engage the core enough to feel that strength and length in your spine. And then let's gently, slowly move to the other side. So if you were on your right side before, find your left side, get comfortable and settled, pillow or arm under head, and arms straight up to the sky. Active hand, palm facing forward. Big breath in, and let it go as you reach overhead, opening the rib cage, opening the shoulder. And take that down by your hip. Let's rainbow 2 more times. Big inhale up and over. Just taking care of your joints, being grateful for each one of them. If you've ever had a joint injury, you'll be grateful for that joint as it recovers and heals. Good. On this next one, when you finish, bring the hand forward. And then let's find our big inhale, open, reach behind, decide where that spine wants to land, where the hand wants to float or land, and on your exhale, bring it forward. 2 more of those, just enjoying how it feels for your whole body to do this really slow, gentle self-care. And maybe letting your mind get in a space of slowing down. It's so good for us. Beautiful. So bringing that hand, roll onto the belly. We're taking a little higher back bend this time since we warmed up now. So you can bring your elbows in a little bit more or even under the shoulders if that feels good. Tops of the feet still flat. Find an open heart by bringing elbows a little closer to you, not moving them actually, but just engaging the elbows as if drawing closer to you brings the heart forward. Neutral neck, so not cranked up, not really cranked down, just that scoop of the spine. Big breath here. And if you feel good, tuck toes, lift knees again. If that's way too much for your spine, your low back, which it is for me today, flatten the feet back and make it about this upper body. Feeling light and open. And then come back, instead of child's pose, let's find a down dog. So we'll go into it slowly. This is our first down dog of the practice. So let's find a neutral spine here. And tuck toes. If you haven't done down dog before, maybe pause the video and find one about down dog. Otherwise, widen the fingers, tuck the toes, and hips come high and back. Feeling the strength through the shoulders, head in line with spine in between the arms. Again, not cranked up or down, just neutral. Maybe you feel good pedaling one knee forward and then the other. Maybe it feels good to come up on tippy toes and then lower the heels to the earth. Whatever helps you to get in a really good spot. If you are tired, come back down to knees. Otherwise, settle the heels close to the earth and press actively into your hands so that the hips float high and back. Beautiful down dog. And step forward, little baby steps, all the way to forward fold. Press the feet wide as the hips and float forward. Gentle bend in the knees, or maybe a lot of bend in the knees to touch the earth, and head is hanging heavy. If you can't touch the earth, shins are good. Big breath in and take a little yes or no with the head and neck, or maybe a circle. Enjoy the lack of gravity. And then a halfway lift, so our back is flat, parallel to the earth, and we're supported on the shins. Float down and then rise up really strong. So press into your feet, lift up through the strong legs, and hands to heart center. Let's take a sun salutation. Inhale up. Exhale, float forward. We'll simple this time. Just a halfway lift again. On an exhale, we slide down. On an inhale, we press into the feet and rise up. We'll do that one more time, starting with hands at heart. Inhale up. Exhale, float. Inhale, halfway lift. Feeling your heartbeat start to increase. Maybe this is good. Rise up. And hands to heart. Awesome. Let me turn this way. Let's let that go. Any tension you might have had in your shoulders, just release. Kind of getting used to standing up here. And then press the feet wide apart. They can be toes forward or out open a little bit as you find a place to bend the knees and rest elbows on knees. You'll feel that probably in the inner thigh, hips. Maybe find a sway, dipping one shoulder down, floating side to side. Beautiful. Let's slowly roll up, letting the spine find its way stacked up, and then float arms up. So this is our big moment to take up all the space in the room. Maybe energetically imagining filling up the space you're in with this beautiful energy you're creating in your yoga practice. Good, and then a goddess pose, knees bend, elbows come wide. We are strong, also called a victory squat. So feel your heart open and your spine totally centered and strong. Reach up to the sky again on an inhale, look up, exhale, victory squat. 2 more like that if it's feeling good. With control. And good. Let's just take a little tiny tip to one side and come back to center, and tip to the other, come back to center. Good. Bring the feet in and let's let that go again. I love to kind of just release my shoulders after a little bit of work. Good. So finding center, feet hip width apart. Let's take a palm tree. So we'll be interlacing our fingers in front of us to start with, and then scooping down, pressing the palms down and floating up, up, up. Good. If that feels okay, maybe find a little swaying palm tree, centering the hips and just letting the upper body sway side to side. Beautiful. And then float the hands down. Let's slide down again, hands to knees or elbows to knees, knees bent a lot and head hanging heavy. So we're tending to the neck because it connects our head to our shoulders, going back to head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So easy on the neck, beautiful. Roll up slowly, and let's take that one more time. So hands clasp in front of us, fingers interlaced. We press down with the palms, maybe bend the knees and scoop up, 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 strong and straight. And maybe a little tip or sway. Feel into it, close your eyes, no competition, no comparison to anyone else. And hands float down. Nice, we're going to take a balance pose. So we'll be choosing one leg at a time to balance on. I'm going to start with my right leg as my strong standing leg. And I'll bring my left knee up just to get that balance going. And maybe that's where you're going to end up with your balance pose, even holding onto a wall or chair if that's needed. And let's tip forward if possible, floating that back leg out and maybe getting parallel to the earth. Maybe not, just practicing our balance here. Hands can stay on the hips or float out like airplane wings, palms down. Just have fun with it. Last one. Choose your hands on hips or airplane wings, and then come back to center. If that's your first time doing something like that, you should be wobbly. That means it's working. So other foot, left foot strong, right knee up. And think about pivoting here from the hips. So as you float forward, your hips stay in line and everything else just pivots around the strength of those hips, the strength of the legs and knees and ankles. This is why we do all the warm-ups. Let's take our airplane wings on the last one if you're feeling it. Beautiful. Parallel to the earth, maybe, maybe not. Finding a gazing point right in front of you and coming back to center. Nice, nice, nice. I'm going to take a forward fold. You can also do that swivel the hands standing, whatever feels good to rest before our next pose. Okay, rolling upward, finding your way to standing, maybe reaching up again, and hands at heart center. This is mountain pose with this awesome posture, feet hip width apart and hands at heart center, shoulders back and down. Let's just find this moment, coming back to heartbeat and breath. Maybe clearing the mind a little, or picturing that lotus flower on your crown of your head, or whatever is really meaningful and mindful for you. Good. One more breath here. And then we'll take a super yogi pose. Superman, superwoman, super yogi. It's similar to what we just did, but our arms will be shooting straight ahead forward. So strong standing leg, other one comes up. We'll start out keeping hands on hips as we swivel, and then if it's possible, shooting the arms forward, floating on that strong standing leg that has a little bit of bend in the knee, holding on to something if you need to, and coming back to center. Nice, so switch when you're ready. Other standing leg, get strong, toes kind of lift up and then press in, heel lifts up and presses in, knee of the other leg comes up. And just get curious, is this side easier, harder, stronger, weaker? Shoot the arms forward. If you've had an injury like I have, then yes, you notice a difference. Big, strong, wherever you are. And come back to center when you're ready. Beautiful work. Let's come back to our, let's cool down a little bit on our pillow or just mat. So we'll find just kind of slowing down the heartbeat for Shavasana. After all that beautiful work, just sitting tall, hands on knees. Maybe really release some tension and some activity by just nice, strong exhales. We're not finished moving yet, but we're kind of slowing down. So right here, take the left leg out long and strong. Right leg comes to the inside, or if you're mirroring me, opposite. And let's just find a way to sit tall by holding the bent leg right here at the shin and ankle. Sitting tall. And then slowly turn the torso toward the long leg and slide forward. So I'm hinging at the hips again and letting my upper body stay straight. I'm not rounding at all. That does us no good. So really just tipping, noticing where we end up, and no judgment, just thanking your body releasing into the balance of effort and ease again. And breathing. Ooh, beautiful. Come to the other side. As you know, we need to stay balanced and aligned. So always one on each side or two or three. So staying here, sitting tall by holding that inner bent leg. Super tall, big breath. And as you let it go, rotate just gently toward the long leg and tip forward straight back. Notice how this side compares. Make sure the leg is relaxed, the back is relaxed, the neck is in line. Good. Coming back, let's take some butterfly wings. So again, if you're on a pillow, this is a little easier. Just placing the bottoms of your feet together, either close or far away from you. Just decide what feels right, and then maybe flutter, or maybe just stay bound angle or butterfly pose. Back is still tall. Keeping the integrity of the spine and the neck. Feeling light and lifted through the head. And then I'll give you some options for Shavasana. Some people would be comfortable staying here seated, getting comfortable cross-legged, maybe placing hands palms down or palms up, or hands on heart, or even give yourself a hug, whatever feels really nice and yummy in your body. Or if you want to lay back down for Shavasana, you find your way down to your back. And take any movement that you need to. I'll be resting here. So again, if you're still seated, just stay comfy. If you're resting on your back, you can take any final movement before you stretch out long, or constructive rest, which is feet or knees bent, feet a little wide like the mat, and knees tapped together. So choose your Shavasana. Maybe experiment with a couple different places for your feet and hands, especially if this is a first for you. Really, the idea is to get to a place where your body can say, "Ooh, I feel supported. I feel like I can rest." And that's where we integrate all the parts of our practice. So for the next couple minutes, let's just allow the muscles to unravel. Let the mind unravel. And if you have anything on your mind, you get to decide if you want to kind of poke around at that thing and just experiment with maybe solving a problem, maybe finding a solution to something that comes up, or inviting that thought to leave and wait for later so that your mind can be clear. Totally up to you. Your spirit will guide the way. Your body is clocked out. No work to be done here. Just enjoy. If you want to kind of anchor to your breath, you can maybe just think, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. such good practice for us to be still. Let's take maybe 30 more seconds of just enjoying this moment we've created. Maybe thanking yourself for showing up. As we wrap up, we start to wiggle fingers and toes and just gently deepen the breath and come back to this space in our bodies, stretching, moving in any way that feels good until you find yourself on one side, resting, head on forearm or pillow again. And stay gentle in this space, not rushing the process of moving into the rest of your day, just enjoying, practicing mindfulness, sitting back up gently, closing your eyes still so that you stay connected to that feeling in your body. Whatever it is that's come up for you, maybe just embracing it with a little hug here. Sending your body the message, I love you. I'm grateful for you. Maybe sending that same message from the crown of your head through that third eye all the way down to the earth. Uniting mind, body, and spirit is so powerful. Thank you for sharing your journey. Namaste.